Just as he was about to step into the sunlight, the man suddenly stopped in his tracks. He seemed utterly terrified of the sunlight before him. This unusual sight was just spotted by a villager not far away. Seeing this, Dashan fought to suppress his panic, quickly nodded in a friendly gesture, and then turned around to leave the area. But the priest had already grown suspicious of him. Watching Dashan only dare to flee through dark places only strengthened the suspicion in his heart. In the end, the priest followed Dashan all the way to a tavern. Then he raised his longsword made of pure silver, and while Dashan was distracted, he quickly turned around and sliced through the curtains. Under the rays of the sunlight, the skin on Dashan's face instantly began to fester. He really was the legendary vampire. Everyone fled in a panic, and the priest immediately summoned a large group of soldiers. Upon learning that the vampire was inside, the soldiers collectively threw their torches. In an instant, the tavern turned into a sea of flames. As the fire grew larger and larger, a plume of black smoke suddenly rose from it, then spread to cover the entire sky. Only then did Dashan emerge from the burning tavern. He stared angrily at these ungrateful people. It turned out that the reason Dashan had become a vampire was all to save these ignorant villagers. Several months earlier, Dashan had been Romania's most valiant warrior. One day, while he was patrolling by the river, he suddenly noticed the helmet of an enemy scout. Realizing that enemy forces might have already sneaked into his territory, Dashan immediately launched a large-scale search of the surrounding area. In the end, they pinpointed a cave. This was the most likely place someone could be hiding. But just as they were about to enter the cave, a swarm of bats suddenly burst out. His men turned pale with fear, but Dracula's expression suddenly turned serious. Because bats are nocturnal creatures, for them to swarm out in such a large group meant there must be something alive inside the cave. So they drew their weapons, and as the torches were lit, they finally got a clear view of their surroundings. Strangely enough, the ground was scattered with a large number of Turkish armors, along with human remains that had been crushed to bits. Looking deeper into the cave, the inside was even piled high with skulls. After realizing that some terrifying creature was hiding inside, Dashan was just about to take his soldiers and flee, when he never expected the monster to have already appeared behind them. The creature struck with such speed that all the soldiers were killed in just a few seconds. Dashan knew well that he was no match for it. He quickly fled to the cave entrance, then picked up a silver sword from the ground and held it in front of him. Surprisingly, even though the monster was only a few steps away, it suddenly stepped back. While Dashan was confused, the monster's blood on the sword suddenly vanished. Under the refracted light of the sun, Dashan instantly understood everything. This was the legendary vampire. Watching a million enemy troops approaching the city walls to protect the villagers and win the war, Dashan made a bold decision.